We'll call the meeting to order with a pledge of allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This is just a work session. No decisions tonight, but it's a kind of an informal work session. So to review the budget, right? I'm thinking if we start with the easy ones, like liquid fuels, we can just knock that out in a second and move on to take the easy ones first before we dive in. Yes. So for liquid fuels, I think we're changing it only because because it's later in time, we have more accurate data. We got a letter from the state that tells us what our liquid fuels is going to be, and we have a small beginning balance. So I think do you have what that is, Jared?
What, for 2026?
Yeah.
That's going to be 428,173.21.
And the beginning fund balance, what do best guess?
I don't have the balance sheet with me. I don't have the balance sheet with me.
Oh, I have it here. I'll have it from our meeting the other day. Let me see. I think it was like 27,000.
23 or 26?
Yeah, the interest.
The ending fund balance on your balance sheet was $26,452, which reflects the interest that the liquid fuels has earned over time. So
Correct.
and then I guess the expenditures, we generally pull that all out with the exception of what, $500 or $1,000?
Correct. We generally have 500 in the account.
And that money is used for paving, right? We generally
Can be used for a mixture of things: paving, trucks, salt.
Road repairs.
Yeah, road repairs. It doesn't have to be just paving. If we had dirt roads, it'd have to be up to a different state standard. Obviously, we use it all for paving, tar and chip, microsurfacing, things like that.
Yeah, historically, I think we just use it for paving because it gets used up all at once, right? Generally.
Yes.
Generally.
Yeah. I mean, so next year we do have less money used for it within paving. Throughout the years, we've put so much money into the roads. We don't have that $1 million expense for paving that we used to, especially with the changes in technology with the polymer fog coat that goes over the tar and chip. Makes the tar and chip last longer. It's much cheaper than paving because over a mile of paving costs more than we get all year with the liquid fuels.
Okay. Anybody have anything they want to add for liquid fuels? It's pretty much one number in, one number out.
What are we planning on paving this year? How many miles compared to last year?
Patrick would be the one to answer that question, and we're not. It's mostly tar and chip. Some of the paving is internal. I know Mountain View Park is one of them.
Mm-hmm. Is that something that goes out of liquid fuels or?
Yeah.
Should liquid fuels be for the roads, not for parks?
It's any township infrastructure.
Okay.
Pat went to grab the rest of the packets from everyone. So if you want to circle back to that,
we can. It'll be probably part of capital, I would imagine. I don't know.
It is part of capital,
okay,
yeah. So
we'll get,
hop over to the capital budget. You can see Public Works Capital Comprehensive, and then road. If you go down to 438,610, paving overlay, road marking, and road pipes.
So I guess the next probably simple one would be, the sewer. Right,
Yep.
operating and construction.
Do we want to wait till Pat gets back for that?
Oh.
Sorry.
Will he be here short? Well,
Yeah, I mean, we're waiting on 2 more packets. It's just when it's this size, the copier is very slow.
then, I was wondering, because I came in the other day, do you have answers to those questions that I had, that maybe we can just go through that?
Me?
And anybody?
Which questions was?
So I wanted to reconcile the, transfers in and transfers out.
Oh, yes. The general fund to the capital fund matches. So that's correct.
I- We don't have a worksheet that shows like in and outs.
Oh, I did not make one. No, because it was on the budget. On the budget page.
So what are you looking for,
That is too.
the uncommitted fund transfer out, or?
I'm looking at account 392 and 492.
I see 492.3.
So can you tell us what they are? I'm just gonna write them down as you go.
Well, under the general fund, it's 492,300 bonds. Bond funds for police building. And uncommitted funds transfer, and those numbers match. The incoming numbers on 392,010 for the capital reserve. Fund.
The 3.5 for the
It's
police.
3.5 and then 103, 101,3477.
Do you have any pens? I have one. How about it?
However, I don't think the sewer match. Because we have a transfer from operations in sewer construction under 392,000, tapping fees transfer for 750,000. And I do not see that on the sewer operating. Is
Yeah,
that coming
that
from
was-
sewer operating?
That was one of my questions, the sewer.
Right, it needs
so
to
we
be
need to
put on the
fix that.
sewer
I think
operating.
these have to go under zero construction.
Well, it's operating revenue, right? And then we transfer it over to the
Correct.
construction.
Correct.
So that transfer wasn't reflected,
On
right?
sewer operating.
Sewer operating.
So
Right, so sewer operating needs to increase their expenses by 750,000. Yeah. The number cut off,
is the sewer in this packet somewhere?
Yes.
Okay.
the number got cut off, but it's the last line item in sewer construction. I'm sorry, sewer operating, I'm sorry.
Sewer's right behind the lease liability sheet.
It's on the page 19.
So. This says page 103.
Oh, this is just, we're looking at sewer. Oh,
Yeah, sorry. So if we change that, then the bottom line is what, $21,000? So we've spent everything we've taken in, We generally don't do that on the sewer, so I'm wondering what's different this year than other years.
PFM will be here tentatively on our February 15th meeting, I believe it is. February 6th, 17th meeting, it's President's Day. February 17th to go over the sewer rate tapping study and the financials of that.
So my question is, is there anything different this year? That don't we generally come out much ahead?
I mean, we are ahead when it comes to the tapping fees. Overall,
Was there a bunch of maintenance? We had to replace a bunch of valves in this past year.
yeah, it was jockey pumps and valves.
Something, valves. Those aren't cheap.
Talking about in the second budget workshop that he wanted to replace.
Next year we have force main cleaning.
Yeah.
That's what.
Yeah.
That's a very large expense in capital for next year. That's $500,000 plus the HMI upgrade. And go back over to sewer capital.
So last year, it looks like and I don't know if this is the proper number. The sewer use fees is at 1.9 million, but we're budgeting 4 million, or is that because these aren't updated numbers, right?
Tap in fees. Oh, you mean over with the EDU estimate? 4.034? That's not million, that's EDUs, 4,034 EDUs.
No, I'm looking at the budget, $4 million of revenue coming in from, where is that?
Oh, the reserve, well, that's,
Reserve. But it says January through December, 1.9 million.
I don't think that's January through December. Those numbers are to July.
yes. Yeah, that was at 7/31/25.
It got cut off.
That's in the updated reports that got sent over.
Let me get my updated numbers here.
Ellen, if you have the P&L that I gave you yesterday,
Yeah, I'm looking for
the
that.
total sewer use fees was 3.9. Pardon? 3.9
3.9.
million for 25.
Here, it's right there.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
Asset 750 budget transfer to sewer capital.
So Pat, do we generally break even with the sewer operating? Because I thought we were making money on that to put in reserves to do repairs. Are we just breaking even?
Oh, breaking even, you mean after paying,
Revenues minus expenses?
paying
Yeah.
reserve? No, there's a surplus.
Yeah, there's a large surplus within sewer. So if you look at the EDU estimate rate from 2024, 2025 up to 2026, Mike had gotten a little aggressive with what his
What are you looking at, Jared? Because I don't know what you're looking at.
on the sewer rate chain. I might have crossed over to another page.
Little chart here.
Yes.
Operating. Sewer operating. To the right of the yellow column.
So those EDUs are based off of our estimate for sewer. Right, sewer revenue. Sewer use fees.
Yeah. And what is our fund balance? Can you tell me?
You mean end of year projected fund balance for the sewer?
The one that you just ran me on the balance sheets? Oh, so
You mean your current sewer or end of year next year?
what are we starting with?
I don't have a balance sheet. I don't have the balance sheet.
Fund balance as 12/31 bottom. 6,074, right?
That's the projected. If you can go to the summary of funds
End of
page.
year at
6,2.
6,846.
Well, that's before the. If you go to the summary of funds page,
So we're increasing by $8,000
yes.
instead of
Yeah.
spending 4 million.
So you'll see. We had a long phone call with PFM. You'll see a projected rate decrease for our sewer EDU fees for 2027, and if everything goes right, another decrease in 2029 for our EDUs with the surplus that we currently have in that account. But PFM will go deeper into that at the February meeting. But the projected fund balance is the 68,46,252 at the end of 2026.
I'm just trying to find the balance sheets that you sent me. Sorry.
Jared, it looks like this budget is different than the one that's posted on the website, the one that's here, or at least that has like some additional notes here in the margin. Can you send me this updated one that has these numbers?
But everything is printed out is directly from the website.
Well, it's a lot easier to flip through all these numbers if I can search for the line numbers on my computer instead of having to flip through a bunch of pages of paper.
I understand, but I'm saying what got printed here is right from the website.
I have the one from the website pulled up. It doesn't have on this page 1 of 3 of the sewer with the estimated revenue, the total fund balance, the estimated expenditures. That's not on the one that's on the website.
Got cut off, I think.
Paper copy, so you can be up to speed with all of us here.
Well, everybody's got paper copies. I'll send the digitals.
Thank you.
Well, actually, Charles and I are sharing a copy.
Oh, here.
Yeah,
I
here's
think I have
an extra.
I think I have mine here. It's all
Oh,
buried in
it's
the.
all buried in
yeah.
there. Okay. That's okay.
It's okay. Yeah.
Hey, turn that thing on.
All right, you should have that.
So the sewer operating says we're starting with 4.8 million. Is that what you have on the budget?
The estimated fund balance of 12/31/25, 6,974.
Yeah.
As of as of yesterday, it was 4.8. So we need to take the current number into effect and not overstate it by 2 million.
But
Yeah.
this is just an estimate.
But I'm saying
Right.
redoing the budget, so we should use the newer numbers so we're closer. That's what I'm saying. That's why we're here, to relook at it, and then we have more accurate data.
Right. I didn't bring the balance sheets. We get on QuickBooks.
You didn't get it?
No, we're gonna need the balance. sheet.
Program's not on this computer.
17.
Want to print them out?
Do you want me to go print out the balance sheets again?
I have mine on the screen.
Wait.
Yeah,
Oh, you do?
I found it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just saying, since we're updating, let's update to the most current numbers, so it's more accurate. That was almost a $2 million difference, so
What are you doing? They're back.
G is the most recent balance sheet.
4.8 million. That we're beginning with, and then plus revenues minus expenses. Where does that leave us?
Mike Gable had overestimated EDUs that were going to come in this year, and that is a huge amount of EDUs that are going to come in next year, just from land development being stalled. Correct. So that's like if you look up in the top corner where you can see the updated EDUs, where they've changed. Correct.
Not a big difference, so yeah.
Yeah, what Mike initially had forecasted for 2025, what it actually ended up being was 4034. What he had in there before that was right around the 41.
So we're gonna end up with about 4 million left in the fund balance at the end of the 26 budget. If we use the new starting number. Is that right?
We're gonna add 800,000.
Yeah, so I need something.
So we should have 5.6.
Okay. Okay, whatever the math is, yeah.
Yeah, 5.610.
Does anybody have any questions on sewer?
Did you have anything for Pat?
On the construction part. But this is operating.
Mhm.
Anything on the operating?
I mean, we're gonna get into it. I wanted
The
to.
sewer operating.
Oh, sewer operating. Oh no.
Okay.
No.
Then let's move to sewer construction.
Yeah.
Yep.
I assume, Pat, all these expenses here are necessary. Is there anything that is maybe overestimated or underestimated?
The only caveat, Ellen, which we've discussed before, is the force main cleaning. We spoke about that in the late fall. And I have a couple contractors lined up that we're still working through. I'm hopeful to keep it quite a bit under that number, but it's still an open question. And I know the board really wanted to pursue that, so.
That's a worst case.
That's a
scenario,
worst,
right?
that's a worst case scenario. I expect it to be under that by quite a bit.
So
That's the last item.
we have, according to this now, our starting fund balance is gonna be around 3.4 million for the construction? Or are we spending that? No, I guess we're not.
No, what's proposed to be spent is 1.441 million for sewer construction. That doesn't.
Okay,
That does not take into consideration PFM. Not PFM, sorry, the Penvest loan. But we don't know if we're going to do that until we're actually approved from Penvest for the sewer extensions for Staten Road, MCTI, Pump Station 4, wet well adjustments.
Bartonsville Ave.
I'm sorry,
Bartonsville Ave.
Bartonsville Avenue.
so this one, the numbers just have to be changed to, because the beginning changes, then the ending will change and it looks better, so. That's good. Unless anybody has any questions? The operating reserve, which is the capital reserve, right? One of my questions was, I don't know if you had a chance to talk to the auditors or regarding that $629,000.
Oh, yes, I did.
Oh.
I did what you suggested.
We suggested a few things, just reversed it or,
Yeah, well, no, I just changed it so that it looked like a transfer. So it was a transfer,
Oh.
no, due to,
Where it just zeroed it out.
when they zeroed it out,
Oh.
instead of having it in AP or liability, as a liability, now it's an expense.
okay.
Yep, so it's zeroed out.
Thank you for that.
They were,
meeting
they were
yesterday.
okay with that.
Yeah.
So. So we're starting with what, about $80,000 in the capital reserve, once that got reversed. We have a liability here about $500,000 unearned grant revenue. Did we get the grant? We just haven't spent it yet? Is that what that?
Which grant is that?
It says 500,000 on 252.001 on the operating reserve
You don't have, it's on the balance sheet.
balance sheet, you know.
Last year at the audit, I asked the auditors what that was, because it was before me, that it's been sitting in there. And they said that it wasn't a grant that we haven't gotten yet, or that we couldn't spend yet, but they said, leave it. So I will circle back this year on the audit to see what's going on with it.
Okay.
They were aware and they knew it was there. They told me to leave it there.
Okay.
I mean, overall for the capital reserve, we do have quite a bit of pending grants where it either doesn't have a match or we do have to put up a match. Some are still, some are still pending. If you go to the capital reserve proposed, you'll see the ones in yellow. Those are the grants that were still pending or have since been awarded. So the Laurel Lake Drainage Grant, we know that was approved. The LSA grant that was submitted for the police cars, we won't know that until June. The LSA outdoor gym, that was just recently approved 2 weeks ago. So that doesn't have a match on it. GTRK grant for TLC Park, we are still waiting to see if that has yet been approved. And the walking bridge over the TLC ponds, that has no match, but that has since been approved as well. John's undergoing the engineering on that.
So we have earmarked 3.5 for the police building. Do we have an estimate that takes us there or?
Yeah, we are still waiting on a full detailed bid specs and cost sheet. We have the drawings, but we're still waiting on the MEPs from the structural engineers.
But do we have, is it going to be 3.5? Is it going to be more? Is it going to be less?
We're expecting it to be less. Philip had put together the cost specs. The 3.5 was the worst case scenario, utilizing force account labor by having Public Works do some of the work was a significant cost savings. So what would be technically bid out if we went forward with the force account labor for, sheetrock, flooring, the electrical would be bid out. The Sally Port, the bathrooms and locker rooms would all be bid out. And obviously the IT, the rest of the stuff would be done by Public Works, flooring, sheetrock, blinds.
And is all that included in the 3.5? Is Public
Yes.
Works included in the?
Yes. Yeah. So we, knock on wood, we are expecting probably 2.5, between 2.3 and 2.5 should we utilize force account labor versus bidding it out. But we don't have the finalized cost sheet with the MEP changes in it yet from the architect. We just have the updated drawings and floor plan.
Do you know when we'll get that? Is there a timeline or anything?
Uh, architects have two speeds, slow and slower.
Architects.
We've been promised, and they have gone back and forth quite a few times with Chief Wagner. They need to know where each electrical box is going to go, and each drop down, for a TV. So it's inching along slowly. We were hoping to have it now so we could go out to bid at the end of January, but it looks like we're going to go out to bid in February.
Building.
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously the CMU for the holding cells, and all those special bathrooms in each holding cell. Every plumbing is going to be a large expense.
With this being pushed back, when do we expect our police can move in?
It really all depends on once we get those MEPs. Once we get those MEPs, we could really start Public Works, starting the demo. They've demoed some of it in their spare time on rainy days, removing ceiling tiles, blinds, removing the old carpet, things of that nature. But aggressively, the end of 2026. It really all depends on when we get these drawings back from the architect.
And the architect fees are in the 3.5.
So we already authorized earlier in the year, I believe it was April or May. We had authorized the architectural fees already. Obviously, there'll be more with PM and things like that, but all these design plans and MEP structural engineers have already been authorized in 2025.
But we paid them out of the 25 budget, or
Yes,
they don't have to be paid yet.
we've already paid them. We authorized up to 90,000 and change. We haven't exceeded that yet. And we'll have to continue as change orders come in, or, if they chip up the floor and find rebar versus, or, a pipe versus rebar or something. But yeah, the brunt of it's been paid.
Is the capital budget is depending on, it looks like a $1 million transfer, right, over from the general fund.
Correct.
And I guess we'll talk more about that once we get to the general fund to see if we have $1 million to move over. Does anybody have any questions on the capital?
Yeah, I see you have $1 million budgeted for the right-hand turn lane on Rimrock Road. Is that really going to cost $1 million for a right-hand turn lane?
Oh, it's going to cost a lot more than that. Overall, John would be the best to explain this, but so we have two grants that are part of the Rimrock Bartonsville Avenue lane, and it's more than just one lane. It's all four lanes having a right turn lane. So these are a grant that we had obtained in 2018 and 2019. Don't hold me to it, but John would be better. We're looking at right around 3.5 million. So the good thing about that is the dual brand hotel is going to have to do some of those, PennDOT HOP requirements along with the Ernal Wawa. So that will help cut that down, because we did not receive enough in grant funds. And the longer we wait, the higher the cost gets, obviously. But there's, obviously we want the developer to kind of pay their lion's share of each lane so that the township doesn't have to do it.
Any other questions? I think we'll come back to that after we look at the general fund for the transfer. Yeah. On the general fund. I have a lot of questions on, so can we do it line by line? Sure. I mean, I think it'll be quick, but. Starting with income. It looks like we budgeted 1.7. But historically, we've gotten 1.9, and I'm wondering why we're not budgeting 1.9 EIT.
That's always the way that it's been done. It's just the standard practice of discounting at 10%. Just in case that income doesn't come in.
But it has been coming in, but
I don't, I don't disagree with you. That's just generally the way it's always been. We'd rather, overestimate
conservative.
than underestimate. Yeah.
see, I'd rather show it because then maybe we don't have to transfer that much money, but
Would you rather change it to
I mean.
1.9?
It's up to
Yeah,
the board, but
I mean, that still would be
You're right. It would show more revenue, and it should be more conservative as more business comes into Pocono Township.
it's been going up. So I'm thinking 1.9 might be that 10% less number.
Yeah, we might hit 2.
Yeah, you're almost hit 2. And we might have hit 2. Money's still coming in, but
So we'll change that to 1.9.
if everybody's all right.
Better looking at it than looking for it.
And I pretty much, I did a 5-year trend. I did an average of that 5 years, and then I looked at our budget. So that's where I'm coming from. So the same thing with, let me see what it is. Delinquent taxes. I'm not sure why we're only doing 100 when we've always gotten over 100.
Again, that's whenever somebody either goes on a payment plan or the house sells and they catch the taxes up. You are correct. We generally, I mean, it does go up and down. Obviously, it slowed down during COVID. And then once COVID, all those COVID protections went away, that's when you saw it kind of spike back up. So we generally average at least 150 in delinquent taxes.
Yeah, the 5-year average is 140. So
Last year was 136, and it's been going down for 2 years in a row. So I mean, that one I'm fine with being conservative, or if we want to make it 120 or something.
that's fine with me.
And that income just trickles in. We actually just got an update from county tax assessment on Tuesday. So as people go in there and clean their slate. So I mean, we could estimate it at 120 just to be safe.
You right with that?
Yeah,
Or 110.
Yeah, 100 or 120. Yeah. And then the next line items I have are,
Do we want to do 100 or 120?
I'm
Or
fine with
110.
120.
Yeah,
Still seems conservative, but more.
It is.
Yeah.
Yep.
the same with real estate transfer taxes and local service taxes. The trend is a lot higher than we budgeted, and I'm wondering if there was a reason why we went in so low for
It's
transfer taxes.
the rule of trend that we've always done was between 50 and 65%. We don't know what's going to sell or not sell that year.
Yeah, but historically we know.
100%. You're
Yeah.
correct.
So COVID market when real estate industry was very high. 25, 26, and 27, all those interest rates become variable for all those COVID loans. So I wouldn't put too much faith in transfer taxes because you never know how the swing's gonna go with the interest rates and sale market. So I would rather stay conservative on that one. Maybe not as conservative as we are, but I wouldn't say, we budget 275. 509, 391, 379. I wouldn't suggest going to like 350.
We could at least do 300. I mean, or
Yeah, I mean, 300, 325, maybe. I wouldn't try and cap that one out like we are on the others. That one particularly just because of the variable interest rates hitting.
So is everyone comfortable with 300?
yes.
And then LST, I mean, that's been going up. So I don't imagine it's gonna go down. Everybody has to pay it, right? $52.
Again, we always just rather underestimate than overestimate and miss the budgets.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can see the trends there. It generally is never less than 450. We have 400 budgeted, and you're right, Ellen. If you follow the 2026 trends, we're probably looking closer to 520.
I mean, yeah, I wouldn't go that high, but I'm thinking 450. And we've been getting 480 the last couple of years.
I'm
Yeah.
good with that too.
If everybody's on it. The next one I have, and anybody else can chime in. Fines and forfeits.
Which line item, Ellen?
331. 331, 100 and 331, 110.
Mhm.
I don't know if I keep those numbers in opposite. So,
Well, no, it was very high and then it went down. So
yeah,
so that makes sense.
is
I
there
don't
a
know why it
reason,
dropped.
is there a reason why the magistrate fines are so much less?
He's a nice guy.
You mean for year to date? That was up to the end of January 31st, where you saw the 19,246.13. Oh, sorry, July 31st. Yes.
Now I'm looking at the current $10,000 for. Is that the wrong number? This was off of Gina's worksheets, the 5-year trend.
I mean, we have 50,000 in there for 2026.
I know, but the actual for 2025 is only 10. Is there a reason that went down, or did we not collect $40,000?
Yeah, the
2025 is 1946.
Are you looking at the balance sheet?
No.
Oh, yeah.
She's saying last year,
Yeah,
got
but she's
that.
looking at the 10 right there.
this year,
Yeah.
got that. I would imagine that it depends on how many court cases there are, or
Yeah.
how much people pay.
Or if there's a lien that comes in.
I feel like
Yeah, unless,
those accounts are very volatile. You can't really judge what the future's going to bring, how many court cases there's going to be, how many fines are going to be going out. I don't know why it is so much less this year, but
could it just be posted to the wrong account? Because they look like they're opposite. One went down and one went up.
it does, yeah, it does look like it's opposite.
So,
Projections are high.
yeah. Okay, that makes sense then. The budget's fine. I think it's just, there might be a little posting thing there.
So you want to leave that 50 and
Just leave
15?
it. Yeah. Sorry about that. Interest on investments. I'm not sure why we think it's so low. Aren't we getting at least 4% now?
Either 4%
Unless
or
we're
higher.
depleting our reserves, maybe that's why.
I think it is 4.
Might be.
Rates have dropped.
379.
Am I looking at that right? The last couple of years was like $375,000, and this year we're saying we only expect to get 80. I think we probably earned more than 80 already.
We have. Yeah, I mean, one account alone, we've already beat that out. But again, that's generally another conservative number. As you can see from the trends, it does go up and down. We've been
It's
You know,
only been going up.
correct, but
Yeah.
with the rates possibly dropping, with the Fed, we don't know what it's going to be at. I mean, we could probably knock that up a little more, but that's based off of what DC does with the rates.
I think it should be at least 250 then.
Yeah.
I mean, we were getting 375, and I would think we're gonna get that if not more. Unless our balance went down significantly.
Well, it's going to, right? I mean, talking about 2026, over the course of the year, it's projected to go down.
Yes, I mean, so generally every year we're under in expenses versus revenue. Obviously next year, 2026, this year I should say, the police the budget's going to take a hit because of the police wing. So overall, we're spending more money than we usually spend in 2026, but it's not because of one thing or another. It's specifically for the police wing and the wraparound financing.
The next line is
Well,
sewer.
So do we want to
Do you want to
bump that up, or?
I myself would, but whatever the board thinks, I would take it up to at least 250. If you're getting 375.
I was gonna say 150. I mean, 80 seems definitely too conservative, right? 150 would be fine. You all right with that?
It's fine. It's fine.
150?
People fingers crossed. That's the, not the legal gambling.
Sewer rent, how did we come up with that number? Like,
So that was based off the square footage of what we used between the yard and Pat and Mike's offices. And we also looked into what other townships were paying, and this is significantly less. So Stroud Township charges the sewer department $10,000 a month in rent. So we just did sorry. Yeah.
I'm gonna ask the realtor, isn't there like a fair market value that we should be charging?
There is, I mean, you can do a price per square foot, but it's kind of hard to do it that way because you have a shared space. You know what I'm saying? Sewer's just kind of chipping in to offset expenses. Because like Patrick splits his time between public works and sewer.
So yeah, I mean,
So your price per square foot really wouldn't work. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
if you did the square footage, I'm just saying, and then the percentage that we use it for sewer, like off of that.
I mean, you could do Pat's office square footage wise divided by 2.
in Mike's office, and I mean, there's a lot in the yard that we lose as you use as well.
What's
For what?
line blind?
For-
Line blind.
Oh, so see how I have it separated like this, it goes all the way over. So if you go where it says page, the first one is page 1 of 20. If you hop to page 11 of 20, then you can see everything
Oh.
in large scale. So just rip your there. Exactly. Well, if not, you can't read it.
So 24
Correct.
super $2,000 a month.
Yeah.
You think that's reasonable?
I think that's fair.
Okay.
Yeah, Stroud uses a shared space too, and they and if you remember years ago, Jens had come and presented this when we did a sewer rate study. 2022, I think, was the last one, and he had recommended that we start charging rent from the sewer over, from all the computers that are connected to the HMI with the internet, the electricity. Everything that we have over in the yard with the extra valves and everything else. So this is the first year that we're doing this. And I mean, it is a lower and conservative number. It's not 120,000 like Stroud does, but it's something to offset the general fund.
So, general what here can fill down surface on a commercial space. So Patrick's office so half of Patrick's office and might be able to be about 235 square feet. So we're starting just over 2,000. So I think you're at fair market value. max I would say would be 2350, but why?
Yeah.
Why would go out?
Yeah, that doesn't include like.
Outside.
You can, you have to apportion all that, right? You got electric, you got heat, all these other costs.
Air conditioning, yeah, well,
Yeah, I mean, all the computers and TVs that are on the SCADA system at all times.
You definitely could, you could maximize, take utility fees and camp fees
So
for plowing, and but it's like then you're getting into nickel and dime situation between the sewer fund and the general fund for what?
Well, Patrick, just for edification, what's the size of the office in Stroud?
Very small.
Yeah, I mean, it's about the size of Patrick's old office in the old building. It's about 10 by 10.
That's their budget.
Well, I know.
So,
No, I mean, like we said earlier, we're actually proposing two EDU rate decreases. PFM will talk about that, but you know, it's the sewer is in very good operation, so that is a very cash flush account, and to be able to pass the discount on to our residents and businesses will be great, and it'll still remain cash flush with the extensions and everything else, because the Penvest money interest rate that you'll see in February is 1%, years 1 through 5, and after that it goes up to a whopping 1.7. So, yeah.
Yeah, we'll be paying them. So the next lines I have are the police grant, PCCD, and the cop grant. And is that what the grants are, those amounts, or are they?
So I mean, for the cops grant, if you remember, that was for the hiring of 3 police officers. We hired 2, and we're going to utilize the rest of that fund with the new hire that you'll see at Tuesday's meeting.
So that 83, that's just an odd number. Is that actually?
That's what's remaining in the account towards that. And the
I don't
other,
understand what you mean remaining in the account.
so
In the grant.
in the grant, what's remaining in that grant account? Because we've used it for what, 3 years now, Chief? 2 years?
Did we already got
Yeah,
this money?
So we draw on it every quarter. The way we put it in for the grant, we draw on it every quarter based off of 2 police officers, but it was for 3 because after, help me out on this, Chief, 3 years, 5 years, it only pays for the police officer for X amount of years. And I think that 2026 is the last year to use it.
That sounds right. Yeah. There is a deadline. I don't remember what it was, but this was all before I got involved. So this goes back to our last 2 hires, which by now is 4 years. By now? 4 years ago. I think there might
that
be a
was
5-year on
Congressman
this.
Cartwright, who helped us get that cops
So
grant.
we only get the funds every year. We haven't already gotten them and then we're using them. We only get them
We only get them when we have that officer in place.
Yeah.
So we only hired 2. We just have that one for the third, and the remaining in that overall allotment is the 83,333.
So the PERDA tax, it's historically been more. Did we get a letter saying it's going down?
Sorry, which tax?
Public utility?
Your public utility realty.
8 or 5.
Oh, sorry. Thanks.
It's also gone up.
I'm sorry, Alan, what was your question on that?
We're only budgeting 5,500, but it's been consistently going up, and it's up. Last year was up to almost 8,000.
Yeah. You're just being conservative.
Yeah, I mean, we get that every year, so I think we should go with at least 75.
Everybody good with that?
Did we lose alcoholic beverage licenses? Because
No, that's just as they come in. Yeah. Yeah, these are only based off new ones. We don't get any reoccurring fees from liquor licenses.
we don't.
it's not, they pay a fee every year.
It'd be
Oh,
nice
so
if they
they
did.
Yeah, it would be nice if they did, but.
The pension, why is that down from previous years? I mean, it's never been, almost never been 250. Did we get a letter for that?
22. We have not gotten no. Did we?
What?
I don't think we got anything from them.
We did not. Oh, you mean the
26.
updated 26? Yeah, we did not get the updated 26 numbers from the state yet.
But we did do the MMO.
Yeah. Wait, give me a second. Let me pull the MMO up.
Community. That's police. Yeah, we should get like.
Yeah. So
400.
it'll.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
400.
we didn't get we adopted our MMO numbers at the end of September. So these numbers aren't accurate. So we can do 399, 127.
Okay, 399, 127?
Yeah.
And then foreign fire, I mean, that looks okay. Do we get a letter on that too?
We did. We can actually. That is going to be the same as 2025. Do you have the balance sheet for that? That's current. We just paid that.
Foreign. What do you mean, the expense or the income?
The income. It's going to be the same.
96,972.
So yeah, so we can raise that to 96,972.
Same as last year?
Yes.
Exactly the same?
Yeah.
Police services. That's way down. Are we doing less? Why is it? Are we not charging? It's historically been in the almost 30,000 more, and we're saying $1,800.
Which line, Ellen?
362.
362.1.
$362,100.
Police services. Took him 38 last year. And she's saying the budget's at 1,800.
That's always been something that we don't know. And same thing with the reimbursement of the overtime. So we generally trend that lower. We can definitely knock that one up.
Yeah, because you plan on doing what you do every year? Do you plan on being more or less?
It's always more.
Generally more. Yeah.
What exactly is police services? Under, like, so I understand the reimbursement of police overtime, I know that. What exactly is police service line?
Police services are like when you do the crossings, when you do
Or
the
the
Great Wolf, you had that
MCTI.
program.
MCTI.
MCTI.
That would be reimbursement of overtime. That would be the line above the reimbursement, police overtime.
Reimbursement for police overtime, I put the highway safety money in there.
So
Yes.
safety is the top one, and then the crossing. So it's all combined the same.
Yeah, I mean, it's two the same thing, just different line items.
Okay, yeah, I think we should bump that up to like, I don't know, at least maybe 55,000 combined.
Total. Okay.
Does everybody else think?
24 was 64. And for half of last year it was 20.
And I got 57 more currently, almost
Yes.
58.
Close 58.
55 cents.
Everybody okay with this?
55 combined.
Yeah.
And building permits, I mean, there's so many people applying.
That's something that we don't know. We forecast it. You don't know when it's going to come in until they actually put the shovel, get ready to put the shovel in the ground to ask for the permits. You know, we have tons of approved land development that haven't gone anywhere, and you know they haven't got the permits yet. So that's always a conservative number because it all depends on when the developer is going to get their financing or their HOP or their GP11.
So in 2024, what we had like 1.3 million. What do we know what went in?
It's approved. 2020.
2024, the big permit for that was Core 5.
Oh,
Yeah.
That was a big boy. I mean, we do expect Brookstead to start in 2026. Granbury Run is still up in the air. Unofficially, Tannersville Point is up for sale as an approved land development plan, so we can't really bank on all that money coming in. Tannersville Point, yeah, it's unofficially for sale. Mayone has listed as an approved land development plan, kind of like the State Police Barracks Hotel. They get the approvals and then they.
Is that what they're gonna call it?
What, Tannersville Point?
No, the State Police Barracks Hotel.
Well, you know what I'm talking about, where the old state police was on Enforcer Lane.
Be interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, because he actually reached out to Empire to see if he wanted to buy it. Empire, Anthony. Yeah. Anthony doesn't want it now.
No, makes sense.
surprised that he's still on. Yeah, some of these little ones. Yeah, but. The transient dwelling unit, I jumped down to,
362493.
Yep. Is that reflective of the new fee? Is that
Yeah,
why?
it's reflective of the new fee and the 8 new permits that had also come in at the end of 2025.
So it's not really a lot more than last year, or are we being conservative? I mean, we know how many rentals we have, right?
Mhm.
Was that doing the math, like how many rentals times?
Yeah, that's exactly what that is.
Okay.
That's the exact number.
Okay, thank you. Contributions and donations, 387.1.
Mhm.
We not asking for them anymore? Or-
No, we still do. It's something that's a gamble too. I mean, we could probably knock it up to 20. it really all depends on the market and who plans on sponsoring. So we did just send the sponsorship letters out for 2026. Some people have denied to donate this year, and some people say, the check's in the mail, but we're waiting for it to come in. So generally, we average between 40 to 50,000, but we just don't know. So it's always just been a minimum conservative number.
You said you just want to leave it.
You can't necessarily count on it, because you're basically begging people for money.
Well, I mean, a lot you can't count on, that's on here. It's just you kind of just stick with the trends, or you just go extremely conservative. So, I mean, we can knock it up to 10, 20.
55 last year. I mean,
Yeah.
even if it gets cut in half, that's 32.
Mm-hmm.
Is it, are you anticipating it going down because of political?
Who knows?
Somewhat.
Gotcha. Maybe 15.
I
mean, I think 20's safe.
Okay.
I mean, Jen's doing a lot more events too, right? So there's more opportunity
Yeah.
for.
Yeah, there's 4 new events this year. So is everybody comfortable with 20?
Sure.
Fees in lieu, is that open space?
Yes.
Yes.
We only have 2,000 and I don't think that's right, because I think just in the last few meetings, we've done 20 here, 20 there, 20 there.
Yeah, I think
And we haven't collected it yet, but
Correct. I mean, it's
Do we collect that after they start construction? Do we collect that after they get their C of O?
no, we collect it once they're ready to put the shovel in the ground, once they get their permits. It has to come with the building permits.
so I think that should be bumped up. We have a lot of projects, right? Putting the shovel in the ground. I mean,
Well,
No guarantee though when they're gonna put that shovel.
Yeah.
So
Well, I know
found
that-
too heavy.
well,
Yeah.
the spa is 28,000 and that hasn't come in yet.
No, I know.
Yeah, I mean-
I don't increasing, I just wouldn't have it too heavy. You never know when they're actually gonna break down. And projects go off the rails all the time.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at between Brookstead, Cranberry Run, again, Tannersville Point, I mean, and the spa, you're looking at over 100,000. But
And what about Core 5, or have they already paid?
4 or 5 had already paid. Yeah, they paid years ago
I'm gonna say at least 25.
It's basically for
from the spa.
what, two? Right, Mike?
2024 was 22,667. Of course, 23 was 693,000.
It's the solar.
Solar.
Solar field was
Yeah, that was solar.
that, yeah.
So.
I would say 10 or 15, only because it was 22 and 2024. Do we know where we're at for 2025 yet?
Well, I know you're getting at least 25.
That's why I said the spa.
Well,
I'd like to start enforcing them a little more strictly. I'm hoping it brings in a little more revenue. I think budgeting 20 is fair, at least. That's the lowest number you can have on here is, well, no, I guess, what, 8 all the way back in 21, but
What are we at, you know,
So 25.
25?
25.
25.
30. 25. Even the cable guys get one.
It is boring.
I'm blanking. Can I come?
Stroudsburg? I'm not today.
One of the questions I had asked was, of the 9.830 of in loan proceeds, right? I know 3.5 of that is going to the police, and I know 5 something is paying off the old debt, right? We refied,
Yeah, it's 5.2 and change.
and 80 in fees, but then I have a balance left over, and where is that? Like, I can't get to 9830. with the other line items?
So that was the purchase of this building, the purchase of Glenwood Hall. Everything we see here for the supplies and everything else for the administrative wing, and the 3.5 for the police.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is I should be able to reconcile 9830, right? That we took in and we're paying out 3.5 for police,
And 80,000
80
for
in
PFM.
police. We paid off the debt, whatever that number is, 5.3 something. And then where's the rest of the proceeds? Where did they go? I still have money left and I'm wondering, did we just have extra funds or am I missing something? Because what comes in must go out. So I don't have all the outgoing.
I don't know.
That makes sense to.
Yeah.
We borrowed $9.8 million.
What
And,
line up with that?
393.1.
393.1, Charles said. So
Proceeds of long-term debt.
I'm saying
Oh, there.
that's the income, and then there's gotta be a corresponding expense. So I know 3.5 is in the police, 80's in, we had to pay. the
So you're
fees.
talking the overage. So you take out the 2.9 for NCSA here, the 1.9 for Glenwood Hall, the 80,000 for PFM, and
That's all included in the payout.
correct.
The five.
Yeah, and the supplies for this building, there isn't like PFM
Yeah,
had.
no, that's what I'm missing, the supplies for this building. Where is that in here?
Well,
Because
there
this hasn't been
is
spent
an overage, correct? But there is an overage, like when PFM had come and done the debt ordinance reading. There is extra money in there for change orders as part of those bonds.
So do we know what that number is, or is it just what's left over?
It's just what's left over.
And so
So-
so that isn't earmarked in here as an outgoing? It's,
Well, we don't know what we're going to spend. I mean, we have
because we're adding it
Yeah,
to fund balance.
correct. I see what you're saying. We don't know what we're spending yet ultimately. So PFM wanted us to put extra in there just in case.
I think we need another line item then to zero that loan out,
Yeah.
just so it doesn't get added to fund balance because we're using it for a purpose. Maybe yet unknown, but we're gonna use it.
For one thing or another, or if there's change
Yeah.
orders, we don't know what's going to come in
Yeah.
or what
Yeah.
the market's going to be.
And I didn't know if the interest on here was part of that or just the principal. Because that might have been part of the difference too. But if you can
I'd have to
reconcile-
ask Zach from
Yeah.
PFM.
I don't expect an answer, but
I didn't even see a
Tonight.
schedule.
it needs to go in there
Well,
before it's
you know.
finalized. Yeah. And if you could just let us know where that goes. And even if it's a contingency line, that's fine too. So our insurance, you don't think that's gonna go up much?
So what did they say? So, Kristen said LOL, Ryan said LOL, Kristen said at least, but
Which line item, Alan?
What's that?
Which line item?
4.8635, 486.35. Just our general liability.
Yeah, so we didn't have those numbers in yet, and it actually has gone up. Let me pull that email up. So that has changed.
Machine jumped down.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to break this out.
That's fine.
But we'll get that updated. Because we didn't anticipate for a 4% increase versus last year, but it did go up more than that because now we have two buildings, extra buildings, the Glenwood Hall and this building, we're still paying on the old building too.
I think that takes us through revenues. Oh, I did have a question though on refunds of prior year expenses. And then employees' health insurance. Are we expecting that to be lower than usual? $395. $395.
$395 what?
Line item 395. That is.
Yeah, so you're talking our dividend. So I can pull the dividend up to.
I mean, it looks like it went down this year from last year.
So the dividend is based off of, I guess you almost say injuries or what you don't do or don't put in. So that has gone up and down, but our latest dividend was 146, 235.69. So we can update that.
What are you updating that to?
146, 235.59.
Oh, it was 152. Am I on the right line? Did I jump? Yeah.
And we had 130 anticipated in there.
152. I'm sorry. Yep. 46, you said. And then the employee health insurance, is that's pretty close. That's right.
Employee health was different.
Went up a little bit.
Well, the cost of employee health insurance went up, yes, but the dividend check I don't have yet.
Oh, no, we don't get that until, mid-year we get that.
So for health insurance, I know we have to go in executive session for salaries and wages, so that'll be at the end, but if we need it. But for health insurance, did that go up? Do we know what the increase was, and does this reflect it, or does that have to be adjusted?
It needs to be adjusted. We had anticipated a 4% increase. It had gone up 15.1.
15.1.
Yeah. Yeah. We actually fared better than most other townships. I know Middle Smithfield's went up 18%. Subsidies going away.
Oh, well, we still might be all right. Yeah. Okay. So you'll update all those.
The cost, the employee cost, yes. Right. Again, with the dividend check, we won't get that until around April. So we just have that conservative number in there. The 20,000, yeah.
Administrative allowances. You took that down, but it was 13,000 last year, and now we're saying 7. What are administrative allowances?
What line is that?
I'm sorry. We're 1.2.
Oh, okay.
Mostly it's anything that doesn't fit in any other category. Like if we have lunch, like we have
I
lunches,
can't hear you, Gina, sorry.
like if we have lunches or if we have
Retirement party.
retirement parties or
Oh, it's not,
just kind of like a
It's not-
catch-all for things
oh, it's
that,
not a personal employee thing. It's-
no,
Okay, good.
no.
Oh, like,
We also put some travel in there. It's like a catch-all.
Do you think it's gonna be less or more?
depends on how many people retire.
Okay,
I think it's gonna be about the same as last year.
You want to knock it up to 8?
I just think we should reflect what we think it's gonna be, and if it comes in lower, great. But if it comes in higher, then we gotta do budget adjustments.
All right, so we'll adjust that.
What are you adjusting that to?
8.
8.
Why has this gone up so much in the last year? Looking at 21, it was $500 and 25, 13,000.
Well, 21 was COVID. We couldn't do anything.
Well, yeah, that's fair, but still up to
No parties.
13. It was, I mean, it was 4 in 23. How many parties are we throwing?
Hey, you know, gotta have fun.
It's not all parties. I'm just saying that we
Taxpayers' expense.
stick that in there, and then there's also travel. Everyone went to PSATs.
He said convention stuff should have its own line, but probably does.
Like, so the food for dinner for PSATs will go in the allowances aspect.
Mileage,
So that should go
travel.
into conferences, right?
Well, we do have a travel line.
Yeah.
These little tablet things you got us, are these administrative expenses?
Those are, yeah, I mean, well, they're not administrative allowances. That falls under small equipment.
Okay.
Admin minor equipment.
We do not have a travel account for like each specific, like for financial admin, secretary, general, you know what I mean? Like, so the travel goes into the allowances.
Dues and subscriptions has gone way up. What are you anticipating getting that we don't have?
This is to reflect
Looking at 401.42.
420, right? Yeah. That is to reflect the ClearGov that we had gone with in 2024. So that is that's one of the budget workbooks, and Adobe is, Adobe, Microsoft Office.
Okay. And then meetings and training, I see that one up, but are we just doing more of it? This isn't PSATs, right? Or is it? I mean, not the convention. Or is it?
That's a lot of things lumped together. Any type of training that I go to, Pat, or any of the public. I don't know if it's public works training separate. PSATs is definitely part of that. The hotel, the conference.
Oh, that is a conference. Okay, well, let's see. It's just 10,000 more than last year.
No,
It
they don't
seems
have it.
a lot.
Okay, so then, yeah, so that's public works wrapped up in there as well. So Patrick's done a very good job of updating public works training. The guys actually just got done with a OSHA class last week. A lot of training's been ramped up for Sands in a leadership program.
Okay, training's good.
Renter awareness too.
You can just check your formulas on the Social Security taxes. It looks like. Not sure. I'm looking on 402.192. I would just check those
Okay,
again.
I'll confirm.
I mean, it's a flat percentage of wages.
Yeah. This can go, that's right.
Well, that's in 402, 401, 405.
I think your hazard pay is actually FICA.
We have hazard pay.
I mean, it's blank.
Oh.
I don't know what we've ever used that for.
COVID. That was used for COVID.
If they keep on giving.
And professional services, 402.31 was 45,000 last year. I'm not sure what we did, what's in there. And you only need
That is-
30,000 this year.
That's the auditors. All auditors. So if Foster does an audit, if
Well, they helped with the state pension audit.
they pension audit, anyone
PennDOT
who
audit.
does audit, yeah, that's that's the professional services for that. And our regular audit, which is very expensive.
Well,
That's gonna have to go up.
I was just gonna say
Yeah.
that.
That should go up a little.
But we could plan for it, not that we're gonna do it, but. It has to
Yeah,
be-
better to forecast for it. So
Yeah.
they gave a worst case scenario of 40,000. Do we want to, across the board, but that's a worst case. Do we want to just add that additional 40,000 just to be safe?
I would, if you don't use it, we don't use it.
Exactly.
Doesn't mean we have to do it, if everybody's all right with that.
You're adding 40,000 or bringing it to 40,000?
No, adding 40,000 if 75.
Yes.
Spend that money,
Yeah.
Yes,
projecting in
Yeah.
advance of the board's gonna approve it.
all this is projected in advance of the
Well,
board's gonna
right.
approve it.
Yeah. Yeah, they are.
Okay. Yeah.
So do we pay for the bond for the tax collector, or does the county pay for that?
You do.
We do.
In the school district? I mean, she's collected everybody's. We foot the bill?
I don't know if they have
Have a
one on her
separate one?
either. Like I never asked them if they had one on her. Like she might have a separate one there. I don't know.
Is that what this is here? The tax collection bond insurance? Is that on Mary? We didn't have any last year. We only had it once.
Yeah.
I think that
I
goes,
think the county picks it up.
I
myself.
think that goes under professional services.
Because of the election, you know. Bond's only good for a year. I would think. Maybe. Then, did the tax collector not put in for postage this year? Or are we still waiting on?
I'm not sure.
You don't pay that though.
I haven't
We get
seen,
billed by the county for that, right? The expenses for the tax collector.
So for delinquent notices and whatnot, we pay it. We pay it directly to the county though.
So we don't have anything in for 2025 for bond, postage, or operating supplies.
I haven't seen a bill.
And then for tax collection, professional services, what is that? And
I'm not 100% sure off the top of my head what is in there, but I believe that's where her bond would be.
it's what?
Where her bond would be because the bond line didn't have
That
a,
30, I don't think that's a bond, that's 30,000, 40.
oh, no, I'm just saying it's included in it. I'm not saying the whole thing is for bond. But I'm not sure what the other expenses in there are. I would have to look at it.
Yeah, because, and who is that we're paying? Because Pat Michaels was our tax collector. I thought she did everything. So who else?
Is that Berkheimer?
It's also Berkheimer, not that it's a huge amount, but
Oh, that could be Berkheimer. Yeah.
they get it, yeah, they take a cut.
I don't know that it's gonna go down to 35,000 though. It's been historically over 35,000 for the last 4 years.
Yeah, we have it budgeted at 70,500.
I see 35,000.
35,000 is the difference between. It's a raise in 35,500.
I lost you. I don't know what you're saying. I'm looking at account number 403.31.
Yeah, so if you look in the yellow, 70,500.
I'm looking.
Mine says 59. Why
Mine
is
says
it-
30.
In yellow?
why does everyone have a different one?
I see 35, Tim.
Yeah, I mean, in mine it's 70,500.
Well, it's never been 70 historically, so I'm not sure what we're doing there.
Oh, yeah, 35.
52, 44. And then do we even accurate year to date, I mean, 2025 ending?
I have 39.3, 39,000 for 25.
Do you want to adjust it to 50?
Yeah, 50. I mean, but Berkheimer, right? Is that what we're saying that what that is?
Yeah.
Berkheimer
Yes.
fees?
You know, I never get a Christmas card from Berkshire.
Yeah.
No, look at the bill.
Mhm.
Next is solicitor.
That would have-
I know, I'm thinking that should go up because.
Yeah, I mean, Leo did raise his fees. It's almost a 4% increase. 75.
What are we thinking?
I know, 75,
75, yeah.
Some,
council on the.
Special counsel is ungodly expensive, so I would almost double that if we end up using that, especially for the amusement tax. That council is $400 an hour.
That should go up regardless.
Sewer is a different special counsel, but I would probably double that, especially if it's $400 an hour.
Listener and then
15,000.
15,000 in legal special counsel.
Sure. Or.
stay on 75, so I think we're using here, and 50 for special counsel, should we need it for all those other things. Probably fair.
But over there. I could try to put on the projector. There's nobody sitting over there. Blind.
409.36 building utilities. We had 78,000 this year and we're budgeting 38,000. I don't see it going down.
I'm sorry, which line item?
409.360.
Unless we did something unusual this year. I'm guessing it's a new building.
Yeah, so there's two different line items there. There's the building utilities and then there's new building utilities and maintenance. So overall between the utilities, we have 190,000 almost.
Yeah, but we've spent this year 285,000. So why do we think it's gonna be less?
Well,
We haven't
that's
even
what,
been in here all year.
that 206,000 you're seeing is part of the new, like parts and whatnot we needed to get in this building, as well as some utilities.
Maintenance supplies, cleaning contracts. We could bump it up a little bit just to be safe.
Well,
I mean-
is this unusual maintenance that we're not gonna be doing again? I mean, because the utility.
Some of it is, yeah. You know,
Utilities
The
definitely,
utility is 78 and we haven't even been here a whole year, so it's gonna be more than 78 for a whole year. I'm assuming utility costs are going up, not down.
correct.
Because
yeah.
mine are.
Well, yeah, I know. We're locked. We just actually locked into a 2-year contract with World Connect 6 months ago. So those are locked in, but obviously we don't have a whole year's worth of data for this building yet. So you want to make that 80?
Even know what to make it.
What do you think? I mean, it seems to go back to the 2024 numbers, but that doesn't seem to.
Because it doesn't show, Glenwood Hall or here.
Right.
Um,
I'd rather be, conservative on the other end now.
80s,
I think it's easy gonna be 100,000 myself.
yeah, probably.
And then
Okay.
keep the one.
That's all half a year.
For the second line.
We didn't have all those RTUs on the roof, we could cover it with solar panel.
What does everybody think?
Yeah, you put it over the parking lot. It's easier.
it's got a game if you could put them on. So 100.
I think 100 seems.
That's fine.
What do you say?
100.
Easy to see.
You want me to put it on the projector, Natasha?
See.
Well, I don't know if they're gonna be able to see from this TV. So then.
So
We'll try to project it, for sure.
building maintenance and repairs, 409,373 this year, and I know it's an unusual year, 27,000. And we're only saying 17,000 next year, but
I mean, we completed quite a bit of repairs.
Right.
I mean, and we do have more repairs scheduled for this building, but that's part of capital. And we did quite a bit of repairs on Glenwood Hall as well. The fountain.
like now.
I mean, that was part of a grant, but the gutting of the building and some of that stuff. Yeah, I guess we could bump it up a little. We don't know what's going to break.
Things that they still have to be maintained, right? Or take the shades down at Glenwood Hall, they drive me crazy.
30,000.
Okay. I'm okay with that. Everybody else?
That'll work.
It's the next line. It says.
60. New building janitor service, what is that about?
That's the cleaners.
This one was so low.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Well, that is broken up between the this building, the police building, the public works building.
So it might not come close to that because the police building won't need to be cleaned for a while. Yeah, yeah,
Well, I mean, but then they're going to start. They would end up starting up here.
right.
So is this just daily housekeeping to keep the building dust free and empty the garbage and that kind of stuff?
These are the cleaners that come in.
Jan Pro.
Okay,
Jam Pro cleaners, the contract we approved July.
60,000? That's the contract we approved?
Well, between the other buildings, those were already approved under Taylor. The one we approved for here, I can bring it up, but it's
And
Yeah, here is 18,000. Give or take.
what's that?
Here is 18,000, give or take. I can pull the Janpro account up if you want.
18,000, but we have 60,000. How much cleaning are we doing at the old building? Because what are we even,
We're not.
okay.
Police and
The
public
police,
works.
right.
And I think this was.
But we've always done
Yeah.
police and
It's
public
gonna be
works,
here,
Yeah.
which is 5 times the size of the current building.
right? So can we bring that down? Because the police won't be here till the end of the year, right?
We could.
I mean, unless they're still going over there.
I'd
and
put it at
testing
30.
it. I mean, are we locked into that or is only if they use that? I mean, if we signed a contract. What did we sign?
45,000?
Are we fine?
Just in case.
Then that's what we should put then, if we
Yeah.
signed that contract. And what are building contracted services for 6,000? The next line.
Yeah,
What's that?
pest control.
Oh,
But yeah, pest control. And I would actually like to,
Mets.
we've paid more than that before we got here, so do we think it's gonna be more? Are we still pest controlling
we are.
the other buildings?
I would actually like to bring that up to 24,000. We'd gone back and forth a couple times this year with Johnson Controls. They control the environmentals of this building. The maintenance contract was just about $18,000. Leo had gone back and forth. We believe that we have everything ironed out. But just like in our capital plan, there is the engine for this whole facility is hanging on by a thread. It's 20 years old. And if we do the maintenance contract, it saves us money in the long run versus paying the hourly labor. So John Controls is very expensive, but the other solution would be to rip the whole system out, which would be even more expensive.
So you're saying 24,000?
Yeah.
On the police 410-185 sick and vacation buyback,
Yep. That is right on target. That wasn't that was up until the end of July.
okay, because this year it's been 134. I don't see him getting any less, although Jim's really good at controlling that, but there's a lot of work to be done. Why did we bump it down?
Yeah, that's contractual, so
What's that?
that's contractual. They get paid back. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah,
So, yeah.
yeah, so why would that be less, or would it not?
Initially, we were trending down for the year when we had written this, and we could knock it back up to 70.
Well, it was 100 and 134 the last 2 years. Why would it be? And we're gonna have more guys. Why would it be less? I mean, because I'm gonna guess they still don't really get to take their vacation when they want to. I mean,
right.
and that's why we're buying it back. And thankfully, they've been healthy.
That was also written before we had decided that we were going to be hiring more officers as well.
Okay, so what do you think realistically going up? I mean, wages went up, so this will go up, right? Proportionately, but more or less around the same.
I would think raise was 4%, so to be in line,
Yeah,
something
but
like that.
they're gonna have more officers. And they'll be more,
It's
they can
I'm
take their
assuming
time.
sick vacation buyback. You don't buy your sick time back until you retire at 50%.
Okay.
So this year, that shouldn't affect anything, but next year, when Orville Smith retires, there'll be whatever he has left in the sick time, the township buys back at 50%. So the sick shouldn't play in effect this year, but the vacation buyback will be the same around plus the 4% of what everybody said.
Okay.
Plus 2 hours.
So we need to bump that up, 2 officers plus 4%. Overall, so I'm gonna guess 150.
I think
Yeah,
that's
rather
so
be-
high. I think it should stick at like what we did this year, 130, around 130. I think that would be plenty because being that there's 2 more officers, the officers will have the chance then to take their comp time and take their vacation time because they don't have to cover for shortfalls.
I don't think it should go up. I think it should stay the same, maybe go down.
I think like 130.
Well, I would hope people will be able to take their vacations, yeah, have to buy that.
I didn't even.
So what do you all think? So you're saying stay the same?
I think keeping it the same is probably safe. I
What
think
do you
it's probably.
think?
So 130?
Well, it's a contracted number. It's at what now?
134.
134 last year.
I think it's hard to keep it the same.
Yeah,
How much vacation?
Yeah, but they've got a bump up in pay, so this will.
probably better to be
that'll-
generous
Yeah.
though, right? Because this is, I mean, these are expenses. I think it's
You
better
also
to be
gotta
able to generous
consider-
here to be safe.
How many people we're gonna be paying this money out to? Depends on how many guys retire.
Yeah, and it's not just retirees though. It's like if they don't get to use their vacation, they get to,
Get it back.
yeah. In the last 2 years, it's
Why not?
it's gone up, but.
Well, so-
Right. So
We don't.
pleasure of the board. What do you think, Natasha?
I mean, I rely on Dana as far as saying 134.
Yeah,
That should be adjusting.
She runs the numbers.
I would keep it around 130, yeah.
You don't want to bump that up the 4% increase? Or no?
No, with the extra officers, hopefully, I mean, we would hope we'd have.
That,
less
yeah, I mean, that's the hope.
Right.
Okay, so we're making.
You don't know.
What are we
You don't
making
know.
it then?
Yeah, 34, that's what this bill, right?
130 is what Gina had recommended.
Oh, 130.
Yeah,
What was it, 134 this year, Alan?
You're all set.
134.
we can't get it perfect anyway, just gotta
Yeah.
best guess.
Police. And then police overtime, I mean, so is that civil support? I'm not really sure. This past year was 2,700. We're budgeting 1,500.
That is Laura and Jill. They helped out with Lena?
They helped with this building.
They helped
Okay,
something.
so it
And
was
so they got
So
some
they had
overtime.
inflated overtime this year, yeah.
Uniform allowance, does that take into account the new?
That's all done by the CBA.
No, that does not include the 2 new people.
Yeah, so we have to.
So it'd be
bump that up.
$1,600 more.
Divided by how many people we have and,
They each
Add
get
2?
800.
Yeah.
1,600 for 2 more.
Okay. So let's bump that up $1,600. So we can do uniforms for the
It
two.
looks like it's 16,800, right?
That's 18 for it.
I get 18,400, is that? what
Yeah,
we get?
that's what I have.
Did you just change that? to
Yeah.
that? Oh, okay.
Mhm.
I'm like, mine doesn't say that.
The pension plan. For the police, 410, 197.
That's
the MMO.
directly from the MMO.
The 290, even though it's less.
Hold on. Let me bring the MMO up.
We just had it. How was it? It's too-
We'll do that in executive session.
Yes, so that number is actually inflated because of the two new officers. So when they do the MMO for us, the MMO number was 268,127, but because the two new officers, we inflated it.
And disability insurance, that includes 2 new. And whatever they're gonna raise the premium.
Life and disability insurance.
I'll update that.
Have a note in the sidebar that says update rates. For that one.
Yeah, we were waiting for the rates. I mean, we didn't even get the rates in until the 19th of December. So
And non-uniform pension,
non-uniform pension is Public Works.
it's going down a little. Isn't it a flat percentage? Is this the 9% or no?
Wait, this is police, non-uniform.
Yeah, this is police. Yeah.
I'm sorry. So Laura and Jill are part of the non-uniform pension plan.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, right.
Okay. So we think it's gonna be less than last year?
How much was it last year? Oh, 11.
I have 11,465 for last year.
That should be a rate increase, not a rate decrease. So it should be $900 increase.
Is that one you're updating too?
That, yeah, it should be 11.
Yeah.
Yeah, 11.
Does the police fuel take into account 2 more officers or doesn't that matter?
It's still the same amount of cars.
Okay. And uniform expense is way up. Are we getting new ones? Is that? Last year we spent 700, we're saying 7,000.
Wait, what?
Is that what we
What?
put that, or was that in a general budget?
This is part of the. Hold on.
Hires. Here's here, that's 7,000.
Yeah, I think that was moved
For expense.
to a general
Yeah.
I gotta look into that.
or capital purchase.
That's true.
How much does it cost to outfit a new officer? Soup to nuts.
That is not right.
No, well, I think that's for the
Talking about all the equipment, the desk, this, that.
Yeah.
The body cam, all of it. Gun, belt.
We have police.
Got
fire
accessories.
Expense further down. I think.
It's 0.
Oh, is it 0?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure it out.
I have 45,000.
Yeah.
45,000 for police new hires expense.
That's it.
Take more.
I don't have.
You're
the
talking
list.
410,
I
320.
did provide a list last year. I don't have it with me, but
So
Breakdown
if-
of all of the items that we need to
Yeah, we
upfit an officer.
Does 45,000
Yeah.
sound reasonable?
So-
Because that's what's in here.
To upfit 2 officers, $45,000 should fit.
Correct, but we were unsure whether or not, depending on Corporal Smith, on whether or not we would keep the eligibility list open towards the end of the year. By the time, let's just say we don't have a lateral transfer, we have to go through the whole eligibility list testing and everything between FTO, training, probation. It gets us close to Corporal Smith's retirement. So we overinflated that this year just in case we have to outfit an officer at the end of the year.
So this would outfit 3? Is that what you're saying?
It's
Or do we
probably
have to
closer
look
to
it up?
2.5.
Okay. So I don't want them to be short. So this 45 was really for 2. Right?
Yeah, if we're planning on potentially doing that, which is the point of the drop that of course isn't prepared. If you're gonna plan on a third,
Yeah, it's
adding money is probably a good idea.
So are we adding another, 27.5 to that? Make it 3?
that's if
22.5. A big figure. So you don't do math after 5. Do I have 67.5?
that's what I just put. Yeah,
Well, you guys are expensive. Jeez. Tell anybody.
Michael.
Police communications. Last year we spent almost 27. This year we're saying 24.
Yep,
And we know that's
that is going to go up. We just got those numbers too.
Eric, is there anything you'd like to revisit on your budget? Since you're here?
Yeah, you can. I think we had some discussion about that with Jared. The overtime. There was a significant drop in the overtime.
So we monitor our overtime pretty good, and our overtime is basically for something that it has to be, whether it's an event that's happening and it's mandated and or it's scheduled. So again, with the 4% raise, and we're getting 2 more guys, so that you can look at the overtime and say maybe that'll take some down, or yeah, with our schedule where the overtime hits is we do short days instead of Kelly days for 12 hours. So Kelly days you get every 2 weeks, you get 4 hours extra. Every month you get eight hours. That would be paid at overtime. So what we do is every 2 weeks you get a short day, you work an 8 hour day. So what happens is when, especially on the night shift, we have 3 guys working, and a guy's on a short day, he leaves at 2 in the morning. So from 2 in the morning to 6 in the morning, when a guy leaves on a short day and someone takes vacation day that day, it's overtime we can't avoid unless we go to Kelly time, which is going to be more overtime overall for the whole department. So that's why we went to that with 12. So just an example of that's unavoidable overtime. With the 4% raise, I just don't see how it could be $50,000 less, even adding 2 guys. That's just my concern. I don't don't want you guys to look at it and when we go over it because of normal operations.
Which line are you looking at? Do you have a line?
410.180, please open that.
180.
And over the last few years, I don't have it in front of me, but I don't think we've been that low, maybe except during COVID.
So last year was 153, and we have 195 for 2026.
Was it 153 for the year, or was it 153 in July? I don't have in front of me what you guys.
I have the most current.
This says through.
It'd be 153.
It did go down. 1.4 was 220.
I mean, overall, we have decreased overtime rates, and that was, you know, with the offset of the new officers, that was why we went back and forth a couple
So-
times.
So I think, so this 195 is for the officers we have now. We haven't included the new ones that might actually add to this. I think what you're.
Actually,
We would
have
have
two new ones that have records.
Yeah.
$40,000 over what we spent in 2025 versus what budgeted.
Right.
Correct?
Correct.
We budgeted 195.
And it has gone down to 12-hour shifts. I mean, we've seen that pattern.
I did not know we were at 150, 153 this year.
Up for 40 grand.
Yeah.
Just overtime wages.
That makes more sense then, because it's 195, we were at 153, you had 4%, 2 officers. That's probably more in line, or. Okay, makes sense.
When we did that, Jerry, we actually thought that 2 new officers would help significantly lower overtime.
Yeah.
Unless there's some type of special operations. I mean, we catch a homicide, you're gonna see a spike. We catch a major investigation, you're gonna see a spike. So. Those are things that are just hard to predict. But overall, I don't see any concerns. I do see possible discrepancy with one of the new hires pay rate, but I didn't know if that was something we discussed here. Or
That was,
executive.
no, we weren't sure what we were gonna get, so
Okay.
that we will adjust
So,
that.
so one officer comes to us with 5 years, he's 100%, and then the second officer would be at 2 years, so that would put him at 90%. Or coming to us in 2 years, so he would be at 90%. So that new hire 2 would be at 90%, not 70%.
Is that exact? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because the new thing we did, the lateral move, you come in, you keep your seniority, you move, well, sort of kind of.
Yeah, it's not that they're
Yeah.
really seniority, but they're basically, if we're getting a 5-year seasoned officer, he goes right to our 100% pay scale, just like a 5-year officer would be. If we start an officer brand new at the lowest scale, you get 70% of the salary, or hourly rate salary. Then it's 80%, 90%. There's a step process. By going to this lateral transfer, it encouraged seasoned officers to make this transfer if they're not happy in their current department or whatever reason they want to come to us. A lot of it was their 12-hour shifts, like that kind of thing. And that's the benefit for them. And it saved us a lot of money in the hiring process.
Anything else?
No, I think we're
No?
good.
Okay. Fire department fuel. This year was 7,200, now we have 20,000. Do we generally pay for their fuel with?
Yeah, we always have.
Even with the fire tax?
Yeah, I mean, that's not anything we've changed.
So how did we come to 20 then?
Just overall, the amount of calls that our fire companies received this year is a record. And the amount of mutual aid calls that they receive is a record. You know, it's with us being centrally located in the county. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but we are probably the busiest request for mutual aid. That being said, we're 20% over call volume versus last year. Yeah. Yeah. So just the sheer amount of calls, you know, those trucks are running from start to finish.
Do we still owe you for fuel? Because I'm only seeing 7,200 here, with all that happening. Is this maybe not up to date?
That one,
Yeah, it was 17, 12.
Well, yeah, I don't have a problem with that. I just didn't.
Right.
And you guys don't go to Wawa for the gas, right?
No, so I will say we've also reached out to Barrett and chiefs have reached out to Barrett several times in the past year for expert fuel routes. We kind of limited our people, especially the chiefs and the main people, to a certain amount of gallon per month. With the amount of events that we're having out there, the Knox Box program, back around to that. And then again, we've actually, as chief, been putting in money out of our own pockets and fire company instead of using steel from the town that we didn't have. So we've been putting in probably $100 per.
So they have access to our fuel tanks, right?
yeah, I mean, they use them. You know, when there's demand, you know, Chief Maring is, you know, always sending I don't want to say always sending, but he'll send an email, say, you know, we had anticipated higher call volume, but they didn't want to be egregious with it. So we went back and forth and talked about real-time stats, real-time municipal or mutual aid, and, you know, making sure that they're not taking money out of their pocket for a volunteer service.
Requesting us for more perspective service. Then I embark on the offers. So one of the very forward teams in the entire county. So for rest work and they require city board departments to be here. So it's already been stated that.
So then do you submit a voucher or something for what you're outlaying personally?
No, and that's why we picked the number that we settled on. Because they're,
So it's up from 12 to 20 now.
yeah, I mean, they're taking money out of their own pockets. That we know the call volumes are going to be higher, and that's the least we can do to thank them.
It is. Yeah, knock it up.
So the next one is foreign fire, and that has to match the income. And I'm thinking that number is pretty low, or do they decrease foreign fire? Did we get a letter on that, don't we?
We do.
We do.
I will update that. While we are talking about fire, do you want to come on up to the podium? Just switch the microphone to on, please. There we go.
I'm here tonight on behalf of the fire company, not on the public works side of things. Mitch Bartholomew, lieutenant with the fire company, Jordan Maring, fire chief, and Pete Gallagher, one of our trustees and also in charge of our budget. We come with questions as far as our fire millage rates go. I know I have a printout here on all the other fire companies in the county that get a fire tax or fire millage and where we lie within those other companies. So we didn't know if tonight would be a night where that is open for discussion, millage rate wise. Yeah. Okay. So we picked a good night then. So with that being said, I mean, I'll turn over to these two. They're much better with the numbers than I am. We all see the added call volume. Even myself tonight, I probably would have been a little more prepared, but at 3:30, we had a call up at Camelback for, vehicle over the embankment, and we're busy. So, like I said, these guys are way more prepared with the numbers. So I'll turn over to whoever wants to go.
So I'm Pete Gallagher. I saw you all last year presenting the budget to you. Our budget this year, we're taking money out of reserves to meet expenses. And a lot of that is because the cost of everything has skyrocketed. when I started in the fire service, it was probably less than $800 to gear up a firefighter. It's close to 8,000 right now. And NFPA standards say that we have to replace that gear every 5 years. A helmet, which we used to wear forever, now is 5 years. It's no longer acceptable to wear. So it's really hit us quite hard. In the past, the foreign fire tax, 87,000 or whatever, that's what we used to buy all the gear. Now we use it to pay for our insurance. And it was anything safety related, from air packs to flashlights to everything for the fire police out on the road. Anything safety related could be done with relief. Now we pay insurance, and the balance that's left over from insurance we put towards gear. So our insurance is about $40,000 a year, and our balance is about $45,000 by the time we're done to put towards gear, which does not go very far. I will be happy to give you a copy of our budget. It's a little bit more detailed than it has been in the past. We itemized everything we're spending, from medical supplies through our capital expenditures, things that we're looking for. But our biggest concern right now is our trucks. Okay. Our tower ladder is 20. It's a 2008. Okay. That cost us 1.2 million when we bought it. If we want to replace it today, it'd be about 3.5 million. And it would take 4 years to get it. Okay. Our rescue engine, I have no clue what we paid for that, but it's probably in more dire straits than our tower ladder, because it goes on a whole lot more calls. And it's typically the first out on every single call. That one, to replace it right now, would be pushing 1.5 million. So if we even got 100,000 a year to put towards a truck fund, it would take us 10 years, 15 years to replace the rescue, and 30 years to replace the tower ladder. So we see in the future where this is going to be very hard stretch for us, because right now we're getting about 390,000, I think, Garrett, from the fire tax, about 390 on the fire tax, 388. Okay. So, I mean, we put that into our budget, and even after that this year, and we don't have any real frivolous things. We've cut back on things, but we had to add a bunch of money to vehicle maintenance because things are breaking down a whole lot more. Okay. Because they're getting old. We did buy a new traffic unit this year. It's the first new traffic unit we have ever bought. Prior to this, we've bought something used and made it work. And those days are kind of passing us by with what we need as far as signage and everything out on the roads. And we also just ordered a new police vehicle to replace the old police vehicle. And we have one more to do down the road. Okay, so we're trying to put everything into this. We've cut down on our banquets, from the nicer ones to let's see what we can do in-house. So we're looking for every place we can cut expenses, but we're really at a point where that's not working for us. Okay, and we see down the future, we're looking at, the fire companies that are closing because they don't have people and they don't have money. Our fire company is one of the best in this county. Okay. The reason people call us is because we get crews out all the time. Okay. We had a fire last week. We had 25 guys show up from our fire company. Okay. And the one after that was 15, 16. Do we have problems once in a while? Yes, but we always get our stuff on the road. Okay. So from that aspect, we're not losing people, and we have some really good people. But honestly, there's sometimes on a daytime call, I'm the young guy on the truck. Okay. I'll be 71 this year, and I'm the young guy on the truck. So we still have some problems that we have to work out. But if the trucks start to fail us, that'll fail the company.
I just have a couple things to piggyback off of what Pete was saying. So as he mentioned, our tower is our oldest of our three main trucks. So our three main trucks would be the tower, our tanker, and our rescue engine. So the tower is a 2008, and then the rescue is a 2012. The new tanker is a 2021. So that we obviously have some good amount of time with. If everything worked out great and all trucks wore evenly, which I'm sure Public Works knows doesn't always happen, the tower would be next to be replaced. We're currently looking at options on either to refurbish the tower or to buy a new one. But as we speak, even from the end of this past year, halfway through this past year, we've incurred some issues with the rescue engine and the tower, where the tower is actually going to be going out of service for about 3 weeks here at the end of the month to get some major work done down in Lancaster. So that'll be out of service for a while. And then as soon as that comes back, the rescue engine is also going to have to go out for some major pump work and other things that are going on. So while we do have a lot of other equipment that we need and definitely need replaced, our trucks are probably number one for that. Other things that are going to be a big expense here in the near future. Basically, all of our hose needs to be replaced. Our 1 3/4 hand lines, we actually are down to only a couple rolls that are extras on our shelves. We have them fail, I would say, constantly on our fires, but luckily it hasn't hurt anybody yet. But we're to the point where we've put in for some grants. We're still waiting to hear back on that. And we're really getting down to like a dire need for hose. We haven't updated any of our ropes on any of the trucks recently. We should have some life safety ropes, things like that. Gas meters, an air compressor for filling our cylinder bottles is also severely out of date. As Pete mentioned, the traffic unit, our first new one that we had, we're just working on that because as we get called to more trees down, wires down, accidents on the interstate, accidents throughout Pocono Township, obviously that truck gets used quite a bit. We're also experiencing a lot of calls, as you can imagine, at the resorts. Lots of, burnt food, smaller type calls. But what people don't realize is even though those are small calls, we use a lot of equipment for those. So our fans, we call them blowhards. They're battery powered fans that basically can help exhaust the smoke or whatever out of the resorts and the rooms. A new fan is roughly around $5,000 for this little box thing. And as we start to go in the resorts more, we need more fans because they have these long hallways, as you know, many stairwells, things like that. So we have to get rid of our gas powered fans like we used to have before the resorts were a thing and replace them with these battery fans. As we keep talking about, I know Pete mentioned medical supplies. That's going to be something hopefully coming in the near future. We can start assisting with EMS calls, but that also comes with replacing a lot of the equipment that's in our medical bags now. A lot of times they sit on the truck and they are, not fully prepared or they're out of date, things like that. And we are, like Pete said, just getting by on, functioning. We can't necessarily go and replace what we need to or add what we need to because we're just meeting that line. We're not necessarily being able to budget for what else we need to. And then I did just pull from the NFPA standard on truck replacements. So NFPA, I believe it's 1901, which is a guideline for fire apparatus. So for fire engines or pumpers, it's requested or recommended to have them replaced every 15 years. The ladders or our tower, as we call it, is every 15 to 20 years. And then any kind of specialty like brush truck utility, things like that are roughly between 10 and 20 years. So along with these prices that are going up significantly on the apparatus, the timeline for them is also very much more drawn out than it was. When I joined, you could order a truck, sign the paper today, and 9 months from now it'd be upfitted in your doors and you could run it to calls. Right now, you're talking at least 3 or 4 years lead time for a truck. And that's if you can get them to actually sign papers for one. A lot of fire companies are going through where they're signing a paper now, and whatever price that you sign there is actually variable throughout the amount of time that it takes them to build. So it goes up over that time that it takes. So just a couple of statistics that I pulled from Firehouse magazines. So fire truck prices have doubled over the last decade. And the smaller trucks like the brush trucks and utilities are up 10 to 20%. In the last year alone, the price for fire trucks have gone up 10% and gone up 35% since COVID in 2020. So like we keep saying, we can fundraise all we want, but unfortunately we can't make up that much money. We're already trying to come out to calls, come out to events, things like that. To ask more of us to come out and fundraise, you're either gonna not have people show up for the fundraisers or you're not gonna have people show up to the fire calls. And I think we know which one's more important. So we really just are looking for help with that. We don't want to rely on our firefighters to come out and also raise the money that we use to go out and volunteer our time. We would prefer to have that money there so that we can get what we need to come out and still volunteer our time. That way we can still answer when the call goes off. Does anybody have any questions or anything like that for me?
Yes. You said different townships in Monroe County have certain millages for fire tax.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell me what townships and what their millages?
Mitch has a list right here.
That's okay.
We're gonna have.
Actually, I typed in this.
Yeah.
My roosters.
I know Cool Ball's at the top of the list. I know they have a lot of warehouses and things like that up their way. But I can guarantee you, and I know from talking to the fire chief and ex-fire chief from up there, they are in very good shape regarding apparatus right now. They've taken the initiative to sign the papers to get more apparatus and get them coming in so that they're not kind of playing catch up, basically. They order them ahead of time, get them when they need them, not necessarily when it's too late.
So, yeah, 0.301 for us. Yeah. So I'm gonna, I was gonna read them so the public will know. I'll read these off. So, and it goes from high to low. So Coolbaugh, 1.3, Middle Smithfield, 0.9, Smithfield, 0.85, Polk, 0.37, Tobyhanna, 0.311, Pocono, 0.301, Jackson, 0.3, Chestnut Hill, 0.24, Delaware Water Gap, 0.24, Mount Pocono, 0.233, Price, 0.225, and Tunkhannock, 0.164. So the townships that aren't on here don't have a fire tax, basically, right?
Yeah, I pulled this from the Monroe County, literally Monroe County Mail of Trades.
Yep. Did you want to see it?
Peeking on you.
So I will speak also for a lot of, obviously I have a lot of firefighter friends, fire chief friends. There are a lot of departments up in, Wayne, Lackawanna County, that do a lot of, like chicken sales, dinner sales. There's a lot, even some in Monroe County that do that. And you can tell that the manpower is hurting for not only those events, but also to pull manpower for the fundraising and for fire calls, right? So like I mentioned before, it's hard enough to get people to come out to go to calls. And then when you ask them to come out and raise the money that allows them to go to calls, unfortunately in today's world, you don't have, that luxury. Even from when I started, there was a lot of people that worked locally for local businesses, things like that. Bosses would let you go, bell goes off, run down the firehouse, run the call, come back to work. Unfortunately, in today's world, corporate world, you don't have that. So like Pete says, we rely on a lot of our either guys that have been around for a while or people that work overnights to get up during the day. Guys that work, a rotating 12-hour schedule to come out in those times. So we're trying to alleviate a little bit of that fundraising aspect if we can, so that way we can rely on them more for responding to emergencies, which is what we're here for.
What kind of millage you think is going to get a squash?
So
I mean, I see
yeah.
Coolbaugh's at 1.3, and I don't know what's up there besides all that warehousing, but
the population of Coolbaugh is very large as well. The population of Coolbaugh is over 20,000.
Is it? Oh my God! Okay, a little bit more rural. What kind of number are we looking at?
So obviously we don't want to be greedy or anything like that. We want to be realistic, right? We're here for the community at the end of the day. We're not trying to take money that's not needed. I would say somewhere in like the 0.55 range would keep us in a good place for the long run. Obviously, we don't want to come in and shoot low because if inflation continues to go the way that it has over the past 4 years, we have another COVID, something like that, we're going to be back here, a year or two from now.
How much at this point is the fire company getting from the fire tax?
It's about
388,000.
388,000.
388,000.
Yes, sir.
So if we knocked it up to 0.55, you'd probably get
Another 300
around
probably.
six.
Yes, sir. And our biggest reasoning for that is, like I said, right now we're basically meeting what we need to get by every day. We're meeting our expenses. We don't, because if the truck were to go down tomorrow and we are out 3.5 million, we're going to be in a rough spot, and we can't fundraise that in Carnival if we threw one every week.
Then rather than going for 0.55 and struggling, would 0.6 work?
We would be comfortable with that. Yes, sir.
This way you're not struggling.
Right. And we would really like to keep our fire company where it is as far as our abilities and our specialties. Like I said, we provide RIT. We're one of the only handful of fire companies in the county that provide that. We do a lot of vehicle rescue, obviously having the interstate and everything here. And obviously as the hotels and warehouses come in, we're going to have to expand our training and our ability to fit those and meet the needs of, the emergencies that will occur there.
6.
So 0.6 would bring in just about 821.
And then God forbid you got to replace a truck. It won't take 10 years, it'll take 4 years.
Right.
Now we also do stuff around the firehouse, like the apron, obviously that goes through a lot of wear and tear with the trucks driving over that. The fire station isn't brand new anymore. Things break and whatnot. And again, I'm not saying that we're neglecting things that need to be done, but there's definitely things that could be done if we had the funds for it.
How much fire department last year for the events average?
I don't know if we got a check from that yet.
It should be in your mailbox.
Okay.
But it's not much.
I want to say it's 10,000.
Yeah, 10,000.
Is it?
There's some that goes to Olson Christmas wish list. Okay.
The other part of the events and things like that, like you're mentioning, we're fortunate to have a lot of the local businesses reach out to us when they need help with parking and things like that. And they'll give us a donation in return for our manpower. But again, what we don't want to do is rely heavily on that, because that takes away from our time from being at the firehouse running calls. Obviously, people don't want to spend all weekend parking cars somewhere and be away from their family and then also run calls again, during the week. There's only so much time in a day, and we all are very involved in a lot of other things.
We talked at the last meeting about a police cost recovery ordinance for, some of the large hotels. It sounds like you guys are having the same problem where, you have a lot of these, very small calls that are, really taxing on your resources. We had talked about, including the fire department in that, and I think we ended up deciding against it. Maybe we ought to revisit that.
Natasha. Yeah.
Okay.
So I will share that we have done billing in the past. What we do is we actually bill the insurance companies for motor vehicle accidents. We don't do anything with fires because that's a provided service for the township residents, but we do submit something to the insurance companies to try to get some kind of reimbursement for it, whether it be fuel. A lot of times we use CAFs on these fires. So it's a foam system that actually mixes in with water and air. So we will bill the insurance companies to try to recoup some of that money. But what won't work for us is that a lot of times when these people that are staying at the hotels or resorts, when they burn popcorn and things like that, that's actually the system working how it should. So it's not necessarily a kid pulling an alarm. It's just the fact that, the system worked as it should and dispatched the fire company and the whole fire alarm went off. So that's where it differs a little bit as far as like hangups, different calls like that. When we actually go out to these resorts, a lot of times it's actual activations. Here and there, you'll have a kid that pulls an alarm, but when we go out, it's actually for a reason.
Yeah, well, but they're still putting a big tax on you guys, and to have to increase the taxes on all the residents because you're seeing a particular uptick there. That doesn't seem fair to the residents. I would rather see it recovered through an ordinance, from the people who are the repeat callers that are putting that additional strain on you guys. It doesn't seem fair to socialize the cost like that to everybody in the township. We should try to direct it where where the resources are being spent.
I just want to say one thing on that. So I Natasha brought this up. This was a good point, and I support the idea of it. But Leo mentioned that there's a fire recovery ordinance being challenged, and he was less certain about that holding up. Essentially, I don't know if it's because there already is a specific fire millage rate. You know, there's already a tax. So I think talking to Leo about that. Where did he go?
I think it was on the recovery portion of it, not the millage, right?
Correct. And there is something that we could do, and we've tossed it around throughout the years, is to have the township do the billing for you guys, so you guys don't have that cut from the biller, which is pretty hefty.
It is.
So Leo's firm does do fire billing.
And unfortunately, it kind of goes back to there's not enough time in the day for us to link up with people that aren't related to the fire company. And not necessarily to say that people don't know what goes on or the equipment and things like that, but it's a lot easier for us to handle that as ourselves and fill it out after the call's over, send it out, and then go home, as compared to coming in and meeting with people to try to write down, you know, what we used, why we used it, how much we used, for people that really aren't familiar. So we have talked about that. We're open to try it. But the way that we do it now is because it works kind of efficiently for the time that we do have.
The other thing I was going to say is we're meeting with Camelback and Great Wolf about the amusement tax. And my thought was maybe we can bring up, you know, I was reading that some townships basically have agreements with disproportionate service users to pay fees in lieu of, you know, going the route of an ordinance. And so I don't know if they would be open to a discussion about that, you know, because we could go the route of a police ordinance or a fire ordinance or a combined one or whatever, but maybe they would be willing to have a conversation about paying a fee in lieu of that, based on what they're already using. So I would ask if you guys could maybe email the board in terms of how many calls are to Camelback specifically and Great, or your top, you know, call locations. I think that'd be helpful in terms of the conversation we're going to have with them. I took the police cost ordinance off my agenda for next meeting specifically because I wanted to have a conversation with them first.
Right.
So yeah, sorry, I had to cut you off.
No, you're fine. I will say that we definitely don't go to those places as much as the police department does. We have worked with security and their maintenance team to make sure that we don't get tons of false alarms. We used to go up there a lot, and then in working with them and saying, hey, sometimes they want to handle it in-house, and if it doesn't get handled within 60 seconds, then we get dispatched. We have worked with them quite a bit to not have to go there nearly as often as we used to. Ballparking off the top of my head, I can't say that we go to probably either place more than 40 times maybe a year. We do a lot of other incidents in the community as far as accidents, alarms, and things like that.
I will say too, you know, we've talked about it before. You don't want to almost put a worry in the resort saying, oh, you know, now our alarm goes off, fire company's coming, they're going to bill us. You know, maybe we'll wait a minute or two, we'll go inspect it. Well, now the fire's cooking.
That's how you hurt people.
Yeah, you don't want them to kind of hesitate to call if they're going to get billed.
Yeah,
that would be my word.
Because I know there is an ordinance somewhere out there where we can bill them if they have 3 false alarms within, I want to say it's 3 months, a month. And then that came down to it had to be the same exact point. Yep. So you have all these points in the hotels. It had to be the same exact one. And then also we already kind of battled them as far as when we show up, they want to turn us around, or they even call the alarm company and try to get us out of there. We show up to the front door, say, hey, what's going on? And they say they're not sure. They just shut off the alarm, which is going to lead to a tragedy one day. That's what we're trying to avoid, obviously.
Yeah. So if they did pay a fee up front for the year, let's say, even if it's
a nuisance
nominal, you know, then it wouldn't disincentivize them from calling because they're already
in the network.
Right. Okay.
I also think too, the increase in the millage rate that's being requested to drop in the bucket. Considering if we have to, if volunteerism continues to drop, and because we are mandated to have fire company, we have to go to a paid company, and we have to increase the taxes exponentially. So I think increase this millage rate to offset some of the stuff out of pocket.
Yeah.
Make sure the guys are safe. You know, it boosts the overall morale.
Absolutely.
So I think in comparison to what could happen.
Yeah.
I think this millage rate increase is a no-brainer.
Yeah, the other thing is if we're lowering, if we have a 10% tax cut, and then we raise the fire millage rate at the same time, then people aren't going to be right.
I think there's.
You know, they're still gonna get a
When
tax.
you raise property taxes, it's bad. When you raise the tax to help the fire company, I think it's perceived in a much different way.
And I'll put it out there. If anybody wants to come help us fundraise, run calls, Jordan Maring, you can find me anywhere. Please come out. We can use all the hands that we can. But yeah,
I can help you with the golf event, maybe at Buck Hill or something.
there we go. Perfect.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you all. Appreciate it very much.
You want a copy of our budget?
Yes, please.
So we're gonna make it, 0.6. Is that what we said?
No, we
I
didn't.
think we have to talk about it.
We have to-
That'd be great.
How many banquets a year do you have?
Just one.
Just one?
Yes, ma'am.
In-house now?
So this past year was out of house, and because of our budget projected for 2026 and the cost that we have, that again we can't purchase other things, we're talking about doing it in house instead to save that money.
What's your normal cost for the out of house budget? Actually, have one night that goes there.
That I don't know off the top of my head.
So our line item, our line budget for it was 25,000. Okay, except for like every 5 years, we do something a little special. So this year was 85 years. So we were at 35 for that, but we 30,000 in the budget, but we ran some fundraisers to get the additional.
Jared, you need 10 days to advertise whatever we decide. And I think yeah, but I just want to see if the dates are working. We're almost at the end of this meeting and we're not done yet. So I think we're gonna have to meet one more time. I don't think it's gonna be long. But yeah, we do have to decide that quickly. But when is our 10 days? When does the clock start ticking back from the day we said we were gonna have the hearing? Right, the February.
So the 26th.
So the 5th is a hearing. We need 10 days before that to publish it. So the 26th.
Yeah, Monday the 26th. The only thing that does get a little interesting is we have Martin Luther King Day on the 19th. We have our Board of Commissioners meeting on the 20th. We have a ZHB and the PennDOT safety study going on at the same time on the 21st. Commissioner Kempler has a meeting with Rosemary on the 22nd and a meeting with Maureen Madden on the 23rd. So unless we did something on the weekend or maybe after one of the meetings.
Well, it has to be during the meeting, right? We have to vote on it.
You don't want to keep it?
Do we? What time?
I'm sorry?
Can we do a special meeting?
Well, on the 26th, we have our zoning planning Board of Commissioners rewrite. And on the 27th, we already have a special meeting for the historic overlay for Open Matter. So it's kind of a jam-packed 2 weeks and open up. Unless we did something on the weekend.
Day after our meeting.
That's a dual day, a zoning hearing board and the PennDOT safety study. Unless we wanted to do something on the weekend. Or tomorrow. Or go later tonight.
I'm okay on the weekend morning, right? I don't know how everybody else feels.
Yeah, I mean, the 18th, there's a Monroe County 250 thing going on, so I'm not here for that. Do something on the 17th.
Day is that?
Saturday. This Saturday.
Oh, day after tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're kind of
We're at the.
at a time, unless Ellen, you want to change that date for the advertising from the 5th. 15th would be our cutoff. We could change the meeting to we could change the hearing. to the 10th. And then that buys us more time.
Yeah. So what's happening like the end of January? Like the 29th, the 20. Oh, no, 26th you said was the deadline, right? 10 days.
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
So it's 27th or 28th or would have been optimal. But there's almost a meeting or something going on every single night for the next 2 weeks.
So
what's wrong with
So if we
the
push-
17th? Is that no good?
That's a Saturday.
Yeah,
it
it's
was.
Saturday.
I thought Jared said it was no good for him.
Oh,
18th is no good for
Oh.
Sunday.
Oh, okay.
The 18th is
Well,
no good for me.
How does everybody feel about Saturday morning?
Besides my wife.
What?
Besides that.
Get used to it, Val. How long you been married?
How's that work for you?
I know Josie had family Christmas kid.
Talk to me in
I know
30
she's not gonna be happy, sorry, hon. But we'll do it, if we gotta do it, we
Yeah,
gotta do it.
2 days from now.
What time is your next Christmas?
Just to get over.
Well,
Time.
we have to. Yeah, we have to have this solidified by the 26th.
And what about the 24th? Another Saturday.
We have to decide. And we have to finish the budget. No, the 20th.
We could.
What else
Well-
do we have for the budget?
We didn't go through all the expense lines, right? I think we stopped at public safety. So we have, we didn't,
I mean, we can keep going.
well, we said 8 o'clock. I mean, we could power through some of these, yeah. And then, yeah, ponder that, even if we did it. Were you not okay with Saturday? What about Monday? I know it's a holiday, but. I don't care about Monday.
What time?
Can we do it earlier in the night? Considering that the building's closed and.
Do you want that?
I have work, yeah. I have to be 5.
I have a dentist appointment at noon.
I'll just throw this out there. I know everyone wants to be there, but I mean, we're just talking about. I mean, if we had a.
Well, I mean, we are going to need an executive session, so I don't know if you want to do that tonight instead.
No, I'd rather wait for Leo to be there. I'm thinking if we have another meeting. But, we have to power through, let's power through this and then,
So you want Leo here for the budget part of executive?
well, he can zoom in the executive. He doesn't have to be here.
Okay.
And if we even need him, I don't even know. I don't.
Yeah, I mean, there are some personnel thoughts, changes, requests, discussions.
Tuesday though, or no? Are we talking about your stuff?
I mean, it's budget related. I mean, we could try and wrap it in depending how far we get on.
Yeah, I think you're supposed to be here. So no.
Yeah.
Can we do Monday at 5 for this? I'm thinking no more than 2 hours.
I'm fine with Monday at 5.
I mean, because once we get through it, then Jared has to change it all up and, or Gina, and do the summary, and then we have to vote on it. Whoa.
Yeah. I'll mark it 307 on Route 8.
And Jared, can you
Be able to track.
Can you or Gina do like, if it was 5.5 or whatever that we said and maybe some different levels in between where we are now and 5.5? Or are you solid on 5.5? Or do you want to see what it's gonna say, what the difference is?
Right, what, the fire military?
Yeah,
Oh, I thought.
Oh, you mean,
0.6.
wait, yeah, okay.
So, so we need to weigh that increase against the decrease.
Mhm.
People would still get a very small decrease overall if we go to 10. It would be correct.
I mean, they still have an increase in their taxes. Because if we're dropping it
Well, if we're
0.1 and we're raising it
the
almost 0.3.
Belly rate's coming down 0.34, right? With the 10%. So then if we raise the fire 0.3, they still get a.
Oh, well, yeah, it was 0.249 to get them to what they wanted, but
we're
it
talking
would
about
be 3 it'd be a wash. Well,
It-
it'd be an increase actually.
Yeah, so it's a 0.34 decrease and then a 0.3.
If
They'd still get a 0.04. decrease.
correct.
I mean. Yeah, they're good. I don't know. But it does seem necessary.
So are we doing Monday at 5?
Monday at 5 works for me.
That's you. That's 2 pages. Okay. Okay, we left off at 410. I mean, 412.
I had a couple questions before we move on from public safety. If I could. Okay.
Go ahead.
The line number 410222 ammunition, field materials and taser. I see that's up to 22,000 this year. Is it 14 last year, 13 the year before, 11 the year before? Why the jump, the $8,000 jump? Is that to outfit the new officers?
No, we combined the taser and the ammunition and field materials for certification, all of it. It's just all combined into one. It used to be separate.
It used to be
Okay.
2 different line items.
Yeah.
Okay. And then police minor equipment, that's another one. That one's up to 45. It was 34 last year and then 14 the year before, 15 the year before. So that one's up about like 30 grand
So
over the course of the last 2 or 3 years.
So we have new MDTs this year, and these are for the some of the accessory changes that are going to have to go to the Havas mounts and everything else with the change in MDTs. It's the computers, and so every single computer, with its whole Windows end of life change. So we have in the capital budget to replace every single MDT. So these are the
current computers we have are not compatible with
Windows 11.
Windows 10, correct.
Yeah.
So is it capital or this is general fund though, isn't it?
Correct. So the MDT is already in the capital, but any other changes that we don't know whether the keyboards cross or don't cross, we built a contingency in there for that. Any additional wiring, any changes that Pat might see.
10 grand from over last year. I mean, all right. And then the last question I had was the SAAS subscription 410421. Why is there so much volatility there? Why does that change so much? See, it was 175 in 2021. It was 49. It was 62 in 23. Then 49 this year. It's going to be 58. Why is it like bounce around so much?
What number is that, Charles?
So
It's 410421.
You don't answer that because I can explain.
So
I know last year, and you were here for some of those meetings when we pitched mock.
Yeah.
So the expenses of mock, that's a new software. This is all our new software that we're using.
Yeah.
We
What's
have
the-
cell data mapping software? We have a lot of
What's the HR software that you guys adopted to?
Guardian.
That's it. Yeah.
Guardian software. That's all new.
Okay.
And there's reoccurring.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look like it's at the peak it's ever been. I mean, it was 62 in 23. It looks like it has come down since then. I was just wondering why it was so volatile.
We've overinflated throughout the years because the whole trend of everything is you don't buy software anymore. You have to buy a subscription. That's how they're making their money these days. So we overinflated it because we didn't know what mock was going to come in at or Guardian or any of that stuff. And now we actually have the costs. Adobe's in there. Everything is just costing more.
Okay. That's all I had. Thank you.
Anybody else? We're getting near the end and I was gonna open up for public comment. Anybody has anything? Anybody in the audience like to say anything? Is there anybody online?
Plenty of people online. Anyone online, if you'd like to make a public comment, please raise your hand or unmute yourself. Ellen would like Leo there.
Oh. You don't have to. Does everybody want to break for a little bit? We could do. Yeah. Oh, there's one thing I want to.
If we do executive session tonight, we'll do the next budget meeting prepared.
Sure. Yeah, right, that works. Okay. Okay, then we're gonna adjourn into executive session and we won't return, but thank you.